Far out in the vast, seemingly endless expanse of the South Pacific Ocean lies an archipelago of such profound remoteness that it has earned the title of the most isolated island group on our planet. These are the Marquesas Islands, a collection of 12 volcanic isles, 6 of which are inhabited, that rise dramatically from the deep blue sea. Known to their people as Te Henua Enana, which translates beautifully to the land of men, they are a world unto themselves. Situated nearly 1,400 kilometers northeast of Tahiti and almost 5,000 kilometers from the nearest continental landmass in Mexico, reaching these shores has always been a monumental undertaking, a journey across a formidable watery desert that has shaped both the land and the life it harbors. This extraordinary isolation is not merely a geographical statistic, it is the very essence of the Marquesas. It is the invisible force that has sculpted the island's unique ecosystems and fostered a culture of incredible resilience and distinction. For millennia, the surrounding ocean acted as a great protective barrier, allowing life here to evolve on its own terms, largely untouched by the outside world. This separation has created a natural laboratory of evolution, a place where plants and animals have adapted in ways seen nowhere else on Earth. The very air seems to carry a sense of timelessness, a feeling that one has stepped into a realm where the rhythms of nature, rather than the clamor of modernity, still hold sway over all. Imagine a place where jagged, emerald-green peaks, often shrouded in a mystical cloak of cloud, plunge directly into the churning sapphire waters below. There are no protective coral reefs encircling these islands, no calm, placid lagoons to soften the ocean's raw power. Instead, the relentless waves of the Pacific crash against sheer volcanic cliffs and dark, dramatic shorelines. This raw, untamed beauty is the first thing that strikes any visitor. It is a landscape of stark contrasts, of formidable mountains and deep, fertile valleys, a testament to the powerful geological forces that birthed these islands millions of years ago, pushing them up from the ocean floor in a fiery spectacle of creation. The journey to the Marquesas, even in our modern age of air travel, remains a significant commitment, a deliberate step away from the interconnectedness of the 21st century. It is a voyage that echoes the incredible feats of the first Polynesian navigators who, guided only by the stars and the currents, discovered this remote sanctuary. To understand the Marquesas is to understand the profound impact of isolation. It is to appreciate how distance can forge a unique identity, a distinct biological heritage, and a human culture that is both ancient and vibrantly alive, a precious jewel set within the immense blue crown of the Pacific Ocean. The physical geography of the Marquesas is nothing short of breathtaking. These are not the low-lying, palm-fringed atolls that one might picture when thinking of the South Pacific. Instead, these are high volcanic islands, geological youngsters bursting with dramatic and rugged character. The landscape is dominated by colossal basaltic peaks, spires and ridges that have been carved and weathered over millennia by wind and rain into fantastical shapes. On islands like Uapu, slender rock pinnacles pierce the sky like the spires of a natural cathedral, creating a skyline that is both awe-inspiring and intimidating. These mountains are the backbone of each island, the source of life-giving water that feeds the lush valleys below. Each island is a world of its own, with its own distinct topography. Nuku Hiva, the largest of the Marquesas, features a massive caldera, a collapsed volcanic crater that forms a spectacular natural amphitheater. Its interior is a maze of deep, verdant valleys, each one a pocket of civilization and agriculture. Hiva Oa, the second largest, is known for its long, central mountain ridge and its reputation as the final resting place of the artist Paul Gauguin and singer Jacques Brel, who were both drawn to its untamed spirit. The lack of coastal plains means that human life is concentrated within these sheltered valleys, which open out to bays of black or grey volcanic sand, where the powerful ocean ceaselessly rolls ashore. the absence of surrounding coral reefs is a defining feature of the Marquesas. Unlike many of their Polynesian neighbors, these islands stand exposed to the full force of the Pacific. This has created a coastline of dramatic cliffs, sea caves and rocky headlands, rather than gentle, protected lagoons. The sea here is deep and powerful, a constant and formidable presence in the lives of the Marquesan people. It provides bountiful sustenance in the form of fish and other marine life, but it also demands respect. This direct and often turbulent relationship with the ocean has shaped the character of the islanders, fostering skills in navigation and fishing that are born from necessity and deep ancestral knowledge. These valleys, cradled between the towering mountains, are the heartlands of the Marquesas. They are incredibly fertile, blessed with rich volcanic soil and abundant rainfall that flows down from the highlands in streams and waterfalls. Here, ancient stone terraces, or pai, the foundations of traditional homes, are still visible beneath the dense foliage, reminders of a once thriving population. The valleys are like natural gardens, overflowing with breadfruit, mangoes, bananas, and taro. They are sanctuaries of life and culture, protected from the harshest winds by the formidable mountain walls that enclose them, creating a world that feels both intimate and profoundly wild. The botanical world of the Marquesas is a testament to the creative power of isolation. For millions of years, the island's plant life evolved with little to no outside interference, resulting in an exceptionally high rate of endemism. This means that a remarkable number of plant species found here exist nowhere else on the planet. From the misty, high-altitude cloud forests to the drier coastal zones, a unique tapestry of green has been woven across the volcanic landscape. The original colonists of this botanical realm arrived by chance, their seeds carried across thousands of kilometers of ocean by wind, by water currents, or by birds, a lottery of life that resulted in a truly unique assemblage of flora. At the highest elevations, where clouds constantly bathe the mountain peaks in moisture, lie the ethereal cloud forests. These are magical, moss-draped realms, home to an incredible diversity of ferns, lichens, and unique flowering shrubs. Here, one can find rare species of plants that have adapted perfectly to this cool, damp, and misty environment. These forests are vital to the island's health, acting like giant sponges that capture rainfall and slowly release it into the streams and rivers that flow down into the valleys, providing a constant source of fresh water for both the human population and the agricultural lands below. They are fragile ecosystems, a precious and irreplaceable part of the Marquesan natural heritage. Down in the fertile valleys, the landscape is a mix of native species and plants brought by the first Polynesian settlers. The mighty breadfruit tree, or uru, is central to Marquesan life and culture, its starchy fruit a staple food source for centuries. Towering mango trees, Tahitian chestnuts, known locally as mup, and groves of coconut palms create a dense and productive canopy. The noni fruit, known for its medicinal properties, grows in abundance. These canoe plants, intentionally carried across the Pacific in outrigger canoes, were essential for survival, allowing the first arrivals to establish a sustainable and thriving agricultural system that has nourished their descendants for generations. However, this unique botanical paradise is not without its threats. The arrival of Europeans and subsequent global traffic introduced new, invasive plant species that now compete with the native flora for resources. Non-native plants like the African tulip tree and certain types of grasses can spread rapidly, overwhelming the delicate balance of the indigenous ecosystems. Conservation efforts are now underway to protect the remaining native forests and to control the spread of these invasive species. The goal is to preserve the unique botanical identity of the Marquesas, ensuring that this extraordinary green legacy forged by millennia of isolation can continue to thrive for future generations. Just as with its plants, the animal life of the Marquesas has been profoundly shaped by its extreme remoteness. The islands, have never been connected to a continental landmass, which means that all terrestrial animals had to arrive by crossing the vast ocean. This journey was impossible for large mammals, reptiles, or amphibians. As a result, the native land fauna is dominated by creatures that could fly, float, or be carried here by chance. This has led to an ecosystem that is fascinatingly different from what one might find elsewhere. A specialized community of birds, insects, and other invertebrates that have evolved into a dazzling array of unique forms. The skies and forests of the Marquesas were once filled with an extraordinary diversity of bird life. Many species of land birds evolved into unique forms found nowhere else, such as the Marquesan monarch, the ultramarine lorikeet, and the mysterious Marquesan imperial pigeon. Sadly, the arrival of humans, and more recently the introduction of predators like rats, cats, and birds of prey, has had a devastating impact. Many of these unique bird species are now critically endangered or have already vanished forever. Conservation programs are fighting to save the remaining species, creating protected areas and working to control invasive predators to give these rare birds a chance at survival. The world of insects and other invertebrates in the Marquesas is a treasure trove for scientists. With few predators and competitors, insects have diversified into a spectacular number of endemic species. There are unique species of land snails, spiders, beetles, and moths, each one adapted to a specific niche within the island's varied habitats. Many of these tiny creatures are still being discovered and studied, revealing a complex web of life that has been spun in isolation over countless generations. They are a vital part of the ecosystem, playing crucial roles in pollination, decomposition, and as a food source for other native animals, representing a hidden world of biodiversity. In stark contrast to the limited land fauna, the ocean surrounding the Marquesas teems with life. The deep, nutrient-rich waters attract a magnificent array of marine animals. Manta rays and eagle rays glide gracefully through the currents, while several species of sharks, including hammerheads and grey reef sharks, patrol the depths. Pods of melon-headed whales and dolphins are a common sight offshore. For the Marquesan people, the sea is their most important source of protein, and they possess a deep traditional knowledge of the marine environment. The health of this marine ecosystem is vital, not just for its incredible biodiversity, but for the very sustenance and cultural identity of the islanders. The story of humanity in the Marquesas begins with one of the greatest feats of exploration in human history. Around 2,000 years ago, intrepid navigators set out from the islands of Western Polynesia, likely Samoa and Tonga, embarking on epic voyages across the open ocean, in double-hulled canoes. Guided by an intricate knowledge of the stars, swells, and seabirds, they discovered these remote, uninhabited islands. These first settlers brought with them the essential toolkit for life, plants for cultivation like taro and breadfruit, domestic animals like pigs and chickens, and the cultural foundations of a new society, a remarkable act of colonization against incredible odds. Over the centuries that followed, a complex and powerful society flourished in these isolated valleys. The population grew, and Marquesan culture developed its own unique character, distinct from that of other Polynesian groups. Society was organized into chiefdoms, with tribes often engaged in fierce rivalries and warfare. The Marquesans were renowned for their artistry and craftsmanship, creating intricate wood carvings, personal adornments from bone and shell, and some of the most elaborate and symbolic tattoos in all of Polynesia. Their lives were governed by a complex system of beliefs, rituals, and taboos, or tapu, which guided every aspect of their existence, from fishing to warfare to food preparation. The archaeological landscape of the Marquesas is a powerful testament to this vibrant past. Throughout the valleys, one can still find the monumental stone platforms, or pepai, that formed the foundations of their homes and ceremonial sites. Sacred sites known as mi-a, with their haunting stone tiki statues representing deified ancestors, stand silently amidst the dense vegetation. These tiki are powerful figures with large, expressive eyes and stylized features, embodying the spiritual power and genealogical pride of the ancient Marquesans. These remnants offer a direct connection to the ancestors, a tangible link to a time of great chiefs, skilled artisans, and powerful priests who commanded the spiritual world. This pre-European era is often considered the golden age of Marquesan culture. The population is estimated to have been as high as 100,000 people, a dense and dynamic society that had achieved a remarkable balance with its island environment. They developed sophisticated agricultural techniques, including terracing and irrigation, to support this large population. Their art, their social structure, and their deep spiritual connection to the land and sea created a civilization that was both self-sufficient and culturally rich. The echoes of this powerful past continue to resonate today, forming the bedrock of modern Marquesan identity and a source of immense pride for the people who call this land home. The long, splendid isolation of the Marquesas came to an abrupt end in 1595, when the Spanish explorer Álvaro de Mendaña de Neira stumbled upon the southern islands. This first encounter was fraught with misunderstanding and violence, setting a tragic precedent for future interactions. Mendaña named the islands Las Marquesas de Mendoza in honor of the wife of the Viceroy of Peru. After this initial fleeting and bloody contact, the islands were largely left alone by the outside world for another 2 centuries, a brief reprieve before the tidal wave of change that was to come with the arrival of other European ships. The late 18th and 19th centuries brought a steady stream of European and American visitors, explorers like Captain James Cook, whalers seeking provisions, traders looking for sandalwood, and missionaries intent on converting the population to Christianity. Each arrival brought profound and often devastating changes to Marquesan society. The introduction of firearms escalated tribal warfare to a far more destructive level. The lure of Western goods began to erode traditional economic systems, and the new religion challenged the ancient beliefs and social structures that had governed the islands for centuries, leading to a period of immense cultural upheaval and loss. Perhaps the most catastrophic impact of European contact was the introduction of diseases to which the islanders had no immunity. Smallpox, measles, influenza, and venereal diseases swept through the population with terrifying speed and lethality. Having been protected by their isolation for millennia, the Marquesans' immune systems were completely unprepared for these foreign pathogens. The population, once estimated at nearly 100,000, plummeted catastrophically. By the early 20th century, fewer than 3,000 Marquesans remained. It was a demographic collapse of staggering proportions, a near-extinction event that brought their vibrant culture to the very brink of disappearing forever. In 1842, France formally annexed the islands, bringing them under colonial rule. This marked the end of their political independence and ushered in a new era of administration that further suppressed traditional culture. The French authorities, along with the missionaries, banned many traditional practices, including tattooing, traditional dancing, and many of the old ceremonies. It was a dark period for Marquesan identity, a time when much of the ancestral knowledge and artistic skill was almost lost. The once proud and powerful culture of the land of men was forced into the shadows, its survival dependent on the quiet resilience of the few who remained. Despite the remarkable cultural resurgence, the Marquesas Islands face a complex set of challenges in the 21st century. Their profound isolation, once a protective shield, is now an economic and logistical hurdle. The cost of living is extremely high, as almost all manufactured goods, fuel, and many food items must be imported from thousands of kilometers away. This dependency on shipping creates vulnerabilities and makes the local economy fragile. Providing modern infrastructure, advanced healthcare, and higher education across such a remote and rugged archipelago remains a constant and expensive struggle for the French Polynesian administration. The encroachment of the modern world brings with it both opportunities and pressures. While tourism offers a potential source of income, there is a delicate balance to be struck. The islanders are keen to avoid the mass tourism that has transformed other parts of Polynesia. They seek to develop a sustainable, small-scale model that respects the environment and the local culture, offering authentic experiences to visitors who make the long journey. The influx of global media and the internet also presents a cultural challenge, as the younger generation navigates the pull of global trends while trying to remain grounded in their unique Marquesan identity. Environmental threats also loom on the horizon. Climate change poses a significant risk, with the potential for rising sea levels to impact the low-lying coastal areas where many villages are situated. Changes in ocean temperature and acidity could affect the rich marine ecosystems upon which the islanders depend for their food. As mentioned earlier, the ongoing battle against invasive species, both plant and animal, requires constant vigilance to protect the island's unique and fragile biodiversity. Conserving this natural heritage while meeting the needs of a modernizing population is one of the most critical challenges the Marquesas face today. Furthermore, there is a slow but steady outward migration of young people, seeking education and employment opportunities not available on the islands. Many move to Tahiti or even to mainland France. This brain drain poses a long-term threat to the vitality of the communities. Ensuring that the islands offer a viable and attractive future for the next generation is essential for the long-term survival of the culture. The challenge is to create sustainable economic opportunities locally so that young Marquesans can build a life in their ancestral homeland, contributing their skills and energy to the future of the land of men. Looking towards the future, there is a powerful sense of hope and determination in the Marquesas. The story of these islands is, above all, a story of survival and resilience. Having endured the devastating impacts of disease, colonial suppression, and cultural loss, the Marquesan people have emerged with a renewed sense of purpose and a fierce dedication to preserving their heritage. This cultural renaissance is not a movement looking only to the past. It is about forging a modern Marquesan identity that is both proud of its ancestral roots and confident in its place in the contemporary world. The future sustainability of the islands rests on a careful balancing act. The development of ecotourism, the promotion of local arts and crafts, and the potential for sustainable agriculture and fishing offer pathways to economic self-sufficiency that do not compromise the island's unique character. The drive to protect the environment is growing, with initiatives to create marine protected areas and to restore native forests. The recognition that their natural and cultural heritage are their most precious assets is a guiding principle for many island leaders and community members as they plan for the decades to come. Education will play a crucial role in shaping this future. By integrating traditional knowledge, the navigation techniques, the plant lore, the carving skills into the modern curriculum, the islands can ensure that this ancestral wisdom is not lost. Empowering the younger generation with both modern skills and a deep understanding of their own culture will equip them to be the future guardians of the Marquesas. The continued celebration of festivals, the practice of tattooing, and the everyday use of the Marquesan language are all vital signs of a culture that is not just surviving, but actively thriving and evolving. Ultimately, the spirit of the Marquesas endures in its people. Their deep connection to their dramatic land, their rich artistic expression, and their strong community bonds are the forces that will carry them forward. The land of men has proven its ability to withstand incredible adversity, As they navigate the challenges of the 21st century, they do so with the strength drawn from their ancestors and a clear vision for a future where their unique culture continues to flourish in these most remote and magnificent of islands. The future of the Marquesas seems destined to be as bold, dramatic, and resilient as the volcanic peaks that define their extraordinary home.